Coming up on this edition of Cogeco News, the latest on COVID-19 and some changes on the way. Cogeco News at the scene of a drug bust. And we profile an MVP from NIP. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to this Friday edition of Cogeco News. I am Greg Estabrooks. There is a new positive COVID-19 test to add to the region that the North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit has coverage of. That brings the total number of positive tests to 17. Taking a look at the statistics, just 22 tests done on this day, 1,814 tested overall. Cases resolved, 16 as of this point. One is in self-isolation, and again, the change is 1. The Quebec border on Highway 63 in the area of Témiscamingue, Quebec will be reopening after a 5-week-long closure. The opening date is set for Monday, May 11th. Meanwhile, the North Bay Regional Health Center has a crew at Castleholme doing some significant testing. Here's a look at both stories. As part of the provincial mandate, beginning at Castleholme this morning, the outreach team comprised of physicians, nurse practitioners, community paramedics, respiratory therapists, and lab technicians will begin performing swabs on all 328 staff and 222 patients. Dr. Ian Cowan, the medical director of the COVID Assessment Center, explains this work is part of the provincial plan for enhanced testing in long-term care. The Quebec border on Highway 63 in the area of Témiscamingue, Quebec, has been closed since the end of March. It will be reopening on May 11th. That announcement made by Quebec's Deputy Premier and Public Security Minister Geneviève Guilbeault, but Guilbeault adds that the roadblocks would return if the public health situation deteriorates. Meanwhile, the Ontario government is slowly loosening the grip on life in the province as the government has outlined some changes in a news briefing on Friday. Nipissing MPP and Economic Development and Trade Minister Vic Fedeli was a part of the press event, and Fedeli joined us later on via Skype.
Next move is to do some technical openings of seasonal places like lawn care because of Lyme disease, ticks, mosquitoes. Those are the types of businesses that we looked at today.
And what made that determination or gave you that impetus to move on with that?
Well, it's kind of a pre-stage with the guidance and understanding from not only the Chief Medical Officer of Health, but also the Minister of Labor in terms of what can safely be opened. So for preparation only, golf courses and marinas. Think of the marinas, the private marina down in Callander. The ice just tore the dock all apart. They'd like to get out and work on that and to be ready for it, but because of the restrictions, they couldn't. Well, now that marinas can be open for preparation only, this allows them now to go and get the docks done. The marinas can start unwrapping the boats and making sure that the prep is done. And it's a pretty strong signal that we're getting closer to stage 1 of opening the economy.
What will prompt stage 2? Will the numbers continue or have to continue dropping? Because they're only dropping by a very small margin at this point in regards to positive tests in the province of Ontario.
Well, after this pre-stage, we'll wait for a direction from the Chief Medical Officer of Health when we think we're able to open stage 1, which is a little bit more outdoor businesses and a little bit of movement on the commercial side. So we'll take direction from the Chief Medical Officer of Health, from our Ministry of Labor with their guidelines, from our own Ministry of Health. We want to make sure that it's safe for families and safe for our workers.
In regards to what's next, there's a lot of fear out there in the business community that their businesses may not even be able to reopen. What kind of assurances can you give them, and can you give them any assurances?
Well, what we've done so far is we've consulted widely with chambers of commerce and all of the business organizations across Ontario, and we've asked them, what do you need? And they've given us their hopes and dreams. And the province of Ontario has put $17 billion into this. The federal government have also been at the table, It's been a wonderful combination of both provincial and federal supports. We're continuing right now as we begin our jobs and recovery committee. We're beginning to consult another full round with the business community and seeing what gaps are there and also which supports they'll need.
The old Sands Motel on McIntyre was the scene Friday morning of a small fire, but as the old saying goes, it could have been a lot worse. The call came in shortly before 11 a.m. and crews responded quickly and put out the fire. Of course, given the fact that the Sands is no more and no one is there working on the scene, with all the wood that is evident, it could have been a much more significant fire if not extinguished quickly. And as for the cause?
It's going to be hard to tell. You know, it's obvious that somebody's been squatting in here. There was some furniture, and it looks like it started in the furniture, so it could have been unintentionally smoking or something else. But it is a suspicious fire because they're not supposed to be here. You know, the building is being closed off to the public. There's no work being done. And the building's been gutted, so the structure of the building is fully exposed, all the wood structure of it, as you can see. So we were quite fortunate that passerbys saw the fire early, and when we got here, it was still to the contents. So somebody has entered the building and was living in the building, but if it got past the contents, the chairs and whatnot was in there, and got into the structure, we would have been into a serious fire here.
Nearly $30,000 of illicit street drugs have been seized, along with more than $3,000 in cash, as the North Bay Police Street Crime Unit was in action and concert with OPP members on Thursday night. This was the scene on Marshall Park. During the dinner hour, 4 people were arrested. 3 North Bay residents and 1 person from Toronto were put in handcuffs. They all remain in custody pending bail hearings. The list of drugs seized, it's a large list of illicit drugs. Also charged, Catherine Villeneuve, 36 of North Bay, Wayne Dawson, same age of North Bay, Cheyenne Gerard Bird, 19 of North Bay, and Nicholas Constantin, 25 out of Toronto, facing a number of drug charges. And as you can see, all kinds of different drugs were seized, say police. Just a short time after the worst mass murder in Canadian history, coincidence or not, Prime Minister Trudeau has issued a ban on assault-style weapons. They are banned in Canada, effective immediately. This from Nipissing-Temiskaming MPP Anthony Rota late on Friday afternoon. He says, and I quote, "I've always found gun owners in the riding to be respectful and conscientious. Like the vast majority of Canadians who own firearms, they purchase them legally, store them securely, and use them responsibly." Rota goes on to say the regulations introduced today will not impact hunters and farmers. The new regulations are about making our community safer by stopping the proliferation of military-style firearms, unquote. A little more COVID-19 related news coming at you right after this break. Come back, everybody. There's nothing like a little pick-me-up in the form of hot coffee during a busy day, and that feeling was shared far and wide as Remax and Pellerin Paints teamed up to distribute coffee and cookies to area frontline workers. Clark Heipel has more.
Hundreds upon hundreds of cookies and dozens upon dozens of coffee carafes. Remax and Pellerin Paints have teamed up to deliver caffeine boosts and sweet treats to frontline workers here, there, and everywhere in our area. Friday morning's pit stop, the North Bay Police Service.
Hi there, how are you doing? How are you? Good.
Bringing coffee and treats.
Wonderful. Yeah. Come on in.
A little bit of caffeine and sweet boost throughout their day. You know what? It's just about showing the community and our essential workers that we're really so appreciative of the work that they're doing at such an incredible time in our lives.
From police halls to fire halls to grocery stores to hospital wards, this crew is everywhere.
First responders we're covering, and also those people at grocery stores who are there for us every day, making sure that we've got food in our cupboards as well. So lots and lots of people to hit up and thank very much for their service.
Have a great day. Take care. Stay safe.
Well, when I heard what they were doing, I said, wow, what an awesome idea, you know. Like we wanted to jump on board for sure because it's an excellent idea what they've got going there. Like, you know, they put their lives, they have to be there for everybody else. It's not an option they have. They can't just stay at home. So we appreciate them more than they know.
Pellerin shares his thoughts on the coronavirus quarantine. Painting may be a good pastime.
It's all about people staying busy as well, because it plays on people's minds. Not everybody can just sit there and do nothing all day long. So it's not like we're taking advantage of the situation. It's giving them something to do and keep busy. And we're always watching distance and carrying things on a table outside and being very careful.
And for those of you wishing to be careful with your daily caffeine intake, 300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine is a safe zone for a healthy adult. That's anywhere from 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day. Today, I've had 5. Let's send it back to Greg at the news desk.
That explains a lot. The sports tourism boom in the region, well, it's not booming, unfortunately. It's been on hold like everything else and will be on hold for months because cancellations are going far ahead of this date. Plenty of money has been lost because of all the cancellations, but Larry Tugas, who is the guy who books most of these events, hopes the fall may rescue the situation.
We've been looking at, we lost nationally the robotics championship, which I took over a little assistance in that, and also the Northeastern Ringette Championships, and also the Franco-Ontarian tournament, which was a volleyball tournament that could probably have brought in about 80 teams. So you're looking at a dollar amount. It's probably, we lost about over $2 million in economic spin from those 3 events that we lost. The good thing on this is that from January to March, we got in 11 events in during that time period. It is one of our busiest time periods, being a northern climate like we are. So we were quite fortunate to have those events continue and allow us to get some type of sports tourism revenue to be, to come into effect. So those are some of the things that naturally we've lost since March 16th. And one thing the only good thing, the only silver lining is that we don't have a lot of events booked in the summertime. We have some, but the bulk of our events, about 75% of our events, run from basically from September to the following March, April. So the silver lining is that we are not really heavily invested in terms of sport tourism during the summer months as we hope to be in the future.
How is recruiting and booking going when you don't know a firm date that you can actually have a big event with a crowd? Well, that's that thing. I'm on CSTA webinars and stuff like that. We're all in the same boat. What you try to do is we're trying to hope that maybe the normal that we're going to assume is somewhere in September, and I try to hope that at the events from September to the end of the year, we're going to still be able to maintain. We have a number of OFSA events. We have a number of
other events in next year. But we have to wait and find out what OFFS is going to do and what schools are going to do. So, we just have to sit and wait. I know it's really, really tough because there's not much we can do at this point other than, try to see if we can look at 2021 and hopefully everything will be normal back then and book the events and some of the events like I mentioned before, like the robotics, they're going to come back. Like we're going to probably push the Northeastern Championships when we get to the next year. We're going to hope to get it next year. Franco, Ontario, we're probably going to get next year. We're just going to, we just have to bite the bullet for a little while till we get a definite date.
Important update on this day for those of you scoring at home. We have an update to the Humane Society name vote for the cute Pomeranian puppy we showed you yesterday. By a popular vote, Sophia was chosen as the doggie's new name. The Humane Society thanks everyone, and there was lots of people doing it, voting and getting involved. Clark will get involved with the weathercast right after this.
Weather is brought to you by Canadore College. Great things happen here.
Certainly had a cool start to this Friday, but now the sun is out and it has warmed up. Welcome back to Cogeco News. I'm Clark Heipel here for your 5-day weather forecast brought to you by Canadore College. Also here to remind you to wear red on Friday and show your support for the men and women of the Canadian Armed Forces. And of course, we are keeping thoughts and our prayers focused on the 6 military members involved in that helicopter crash near Greece on Wednesday. 1 body was recovered and 5 others are now presumed dead in that crash. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family members of those crash victims. The sun has come out on this Friday afternoon and the skies are quite clear, and they're going to remain that way heading overnight on this Friday night. However, there is going to be a risk of precipitation throughout the entire weekend. Now on this Friday night, you are asked to turn on your cell phone light, your flashlight, and hold it up in the air outside your front door at 9 p.m. this Friday night, and that is our salute to the hospital workers, the doctors, the paramedics, the EMTs, the nurses, everyone involved in the fight against COVID-19 on the healthcare front. So hold out your phone with your flashlight on at 9 p.m. tonight. Let's take a look at the 5-day forecast brought to you by Canadore College. Heading overnight on this Friday night, we have a cool, clear, calm low of 2 above. Speaking of 2, on the 2nd day of May, sun will be out and the clouds will be as well. Mix of sun and cloud, chance of rain in the afternoon, high 13 and a low of 7, both above freezing, and the UV index will be a factor at 6. Sunday now, more of the same, a little cooler, high 11, low 2 below. Monday now, the 4th of May, insert annoying Star Wars puns here. High 10, low 4 below, mix of sun and cloud. And Tuesday, the 5th of May, sunny skies, lucky 13 for the high and a low of 0 overnight. Turning the page back to the almanac, we had a high of 13 on Thursday and a low of 4. The normals are 15 and 3. There you have it. There is your 5-day weather picture. Do stay tuned. Greg Esterbrooks will have your sportscast right after this as we catch up with an Iranian-Canadian rower who has won the MVP award for the Nipissing Lakers men's rowing team. All that and more right after this.
Sports is brought to you by Tag Construction for all your construction needs.
Welcome back, everybody. In less than a year in his new country, 28-year-old rowing athlete Kashayar Abbasabadi has accomplished a heck of a lot. Immigrating from Iran, Cash has earned the respect of his colleagues and coaches. Clark Heupel has the remarkable story of perseverance.
It takes a lot of courage to move halfway around the world to a new country and learn a new language. It takes a lot of determination to also enroll in a master's program and commit to be a student athlete at the same time. That has been the life of Iranian immigrant Kashayar Abbasabadi. And oh yeah, he was just named MVP of the Nipissing Lakers men's rowing team.
That was a big honor for me, but I want to add to it that I want to call it MVT, most valuable team, because I wasn't alone. I had a really good nutritionist to develop my fitness, and I had physiotherapist Mackenzie and Chris that helps me to go with my injury, and my perfect coach that helps me to change my entire techniques and row like a Canadian rower.
Cash's rowing coach, Dr. Dean Hay, gave him a valuable piece of advice.
To go through all the barriers as an immigrant, that your life will be like a roller coaster now, Cash. And you're gonna be in a good mood and bad mood. You will have a lot of ups and downs, and just heads up, be careful.
In addition to these challenges, it is safe to say that there's a lot of pressure coming from the people in his home country.
Back there in Iran, I was an international champion. So so many people know me, and I have to keep them satisfied. You know, they expect me the results, and they expect me to raise the Iranian flag kind of in Canada. And on the other hand, as a new immigrant to Canada, and you know, you don't hear a lot of good things about Iran on the news, you have to prove to every single person you will see that I am the true Iranian.
When the worldwide coronavirus pandemic is resolved and international competition resumes, Cash looks forward to representing both Canada and Iran on the world stage.
Athletes from different countries They will travel together with their families in their holidays, and they are all the best friends with each other. I hope that I can represent as an Iranian Canadian athlete, and my Iranian mindset plus Canadian attitude will give me a huge advantage to be successful, I think.
And being successful at the Olympics is the ultimate goal. Reporting for Cogeco News, I'm Clark Heipel.
Monique Cormier is an expert fitness trainer, and that skill set has been tested big time as the pandemic has shut down gyms everywhere. It made her career a little trickier, but Cormier still trains and offers training from home. She also has a special challenge that she's embarking on to keep people fit.
Absolutely. So I call it the COVID-19 30-day challenge. And it's a live stream video training program where you access all the exercise charts into your own account that you have access to anywhere you are from the website. And then I have a private exclusive membership Facebook group where we access all the live videos daily. And it's actually become a really huge support system and group, and people are loving it. I have over 40 clients already who've jumped on. It's starting to get out there. Family are challenging other family members. So I'm starting to see sisters challenge each other on the Facebook. It's really become something quite impressive. And this change has showed me that this creativity's allowed me to become a bigger support system with this virtual training, taking it to a live stream video. So people are training at home in their living room all at the same time, or the video is saved and they can do it whenever they want.
We are out of time for the day and the week. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. Enjoy the sunshine as long as it lasts. And we'll see you again for more live Cogeco News Monday at 5 p.m. Good night.